What is it with advisors then that are like struggling to get new clients? There's a lot of reasons for it, right? You're right. You've talked to a lot of reps. You've had these discussions. Is this about a lack of communication? Is this a lack of them asking the right questions? Is this a lack of trust from the client? Usually when a advisor is having a hard time getting new business.
A lot of the advisors I talk to have an idea about the direction they want to go, but they don't feel supported to get there because it typically is an idea or a thought process that is going to go against the grain of the culture and community in which they are currently a part of. It's a level of defeating. You become afraid to speak out because what you're going to say or thought process or what question is goes against or doesn't align with what's currently acceptable around you. Fast forward that now to today, where you have people who are trying to stay in that curious zone where they're asking questions. There's that initial lens that they have to throw or filter through internally. Is this going to come across as stupid, or is it going to make me look or sound less than to my peer?
One of the most important things anybody can do about their own personal situation is to question it. It's knowing the right questions to ask.
You have to find the right firm, the right alignment, the right coaching, the right strategies and mindset around it. Because you can only do things by yourself for so long before you hit a wall.
When I first met you, I came to your workplace and I remember sitting there looking at you and thought, shit, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
That was really the first thing I thought. I was telling you the story about my wife and kind of what my goals were, why I do what I do. You might ask me, does Libby work? And I'm like, if she wants to, because that was my goal. What would life look like if Kim could do what she wanted to do when she wanted to do it?
When you asked me that question, I knew my wife as a crispy but still committed social worker. She cares on the level that I didn't know was possible. There was many nights where we would be woken up by her phone 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and she would be up for hours. The woman that I love more than I ever knew was possible. And I knew in that moment that I was going to find a way. Today, there's no stress. She doesn't do that work. We're at a point where she's able to venture out to figure out what she wants. I no longer have to worry. There was so long where we were robbing Peter, hey, Paul, to make sure that we had the ability to do just the simple things. But now it's a point where we're to then start putting a plan together on buying a property, not putting a plan together on finding a new house because our lease is up. We have the ability and latitude to do whatever we want to. If I want to put a tree house up, then I'm going to put a damn tree house up because I want to. Because I've done the things in life and built the business and the book of business and put the work in with the clients that know, love, and trust what I have to say and do to be able to enjoy that. The important thing here that I want to come back to is when you zoom out, whatever the head trash is, whatever is happening with you politically or an insert of event here, nothing has changed on how we operate structurally. From before this event started to right now while it's ongoing. So if nothing has changed structurally on how we are servicing the children for our clients, my goal is to reduce the amount of frustration and what's keeping you up at night financially. Because without a plan, our minds will wander and jump to conclusions. That's what causes the financial decisions that lead to regret.
There's some more on just adamant about If the messaging is all about questioning and solving a prospect's problems, being the coach, the advisor, the guide, whatever you want to call it, and stop talking about product because product doesn't matter. Find the problem and solve the problem. Be a coach, be an advisor. Very rarely do I ever see an advisor acting like a coach instead of pushing product, seriously concerned about that individual's mental and financial well-being. That method tends to work well because it not only puts the mind of the prospect at ease, but the person, the human, we're sitting across the actual living, breathing human that we're talking to, that's a real person with a real soul, that has a whole family and a life and kids and concerns and a dog and a grandma and all the other stuff. We're treating them like we would treat our best friend and our child and our parent ourselves. That's really what it's all about. Entering every conversation like that, armed with the right questions, enthusiastic, knowledgeable, but then offering solutions to a problem that we might uncover. If there's no problem, you don't need me. If there's no problem, they don't need you. Our job isn't to create a problem. Our job is to uncover what might be there. But at the end of the day, it's about having fluidity, and it's how music flows.
Yes.
That's how the conversations need to flow.
The higher the IQ, I think the harder time they have. But the higher your EQ, the easier time you have. If you are more emotionally present, emotionally intelligent, emotionally aware,
The trumps IQ.
there's a difference between saying that's a nice cabinet lady and man.
Yeah. Yeah, that feel. Yeah, it's all about the soul.
That's validating them as a person.
I find a lot of advisors that talk too much is because they are uncomfortable.
When you get uncomfortable, you just start puffing because you have to fill, you need to fill the space.
It's a matter of slowing down. You have to understand material. You have to understand the direction, but you also have to let the space breathe, and you have to engage your prospect in a way to where you're seeing what you can do to help them get to a better position than what they're in. Why isn't every representative doing that?
The reps that we have that are producing, that are fully in this business, those are the people that are.
I can tell you're exactly right, because I've seen it when we have a rep at the firm that does so much with clients and then it kicks in. The difference is noticeable.
And then it's sitting back and asking yourself, am I able to fully, do I have the latitude, the permission with my current situation and my current firm to be able to truly service clients in a way that makes me feel expansive
Without being desperate.
without sounding canned, without coming across as desperate, salesy, pushing up high. You have to care just a little bit more than that. You have to take it a little bit further than that. Use the tool.
But the humanity back into it.
The humanity side of it. Remember that we are here to help others around us. It is to be service to others over service to self.